Hey dudes, welcome back to RC Cars UK. Paddy with you again. Now I've been sent this rear bed from a j45c by Tom Munn, and he wants me to do some modifications on this for him. I think the main aim for this is to lose a bit of weight. This is a composite sort of nylon based, maybe butadiene styrene based actually, because it's quite solid and it's got a bit of weight to it. So what he wants me to do is, you see the areas that he's very helpfully marked out there, he wants me to take them out with a Dremel and clean them out completely. So just the bar supports are left. And on the top, we're going to have to figure out a way to remove this entire rear bed here. Yeah, and replace it with this lightweight 1mm carbon fibre. It is black. I don't want to peel the film off too much, but it is black. So that'll have to be cut out to shape. So what I think I'm going to do is take a Dremel roughly on the inside all the way round and leave a little gap obviously, so I've got something left to go out with the drum sanding bit. And then once it's all cut out, so just basically the tubing is left on the outside here, yeah, all the way around. I take all this middle bit out where my hand is, yeah, flip it upside down, and I can use sort of the top as the top anyway, trace around the shape from the inside, and then cut it slightly outside of that line to give myself 1mm play. Reason being, I was thinking of recessing a hole on the inside of here, on the inside, almost like this is supposed to look like. That is what I wanted the finished item of the carbon to look like. However, you'll notice that here the plastic is raised, so that is going to take some modification. That the only other way I could do that is to leave these bars in, yeah, and do it in 3 pieces. However, that would be quite flimsy. I just wouldn't feel comfortable with doing that, to be honest with you, with the 1mm carbon. You know, if it was thicker stuff, probably get away with that because I could wedge it in there and put some L brackets in place to keep it in place. Seeing as we're going for a lightweight approach with this, I don't think that's the way to go. I think the way to go is to take all of this out, recess a hole like a biscuit joint, if you will, on the inside of the tubing all the way around, so the new bed material can basically slot in. There'll be a slot for it to sit in. That's the plan anyway, so stick with us and we'll get cracking. We'll get the Dremel out and get some cuts made. Cheers guys. Right, so what we've done here guys is we've just started to make our cuts. As you can see, like I said, I cut a little bit inside. Now this is done with a Dremel and a cutting disc wheel. Quite tough because the plastic always binds up around the edge. You can see that there, whether it'll focus. No, it refuses to focus. Let's get it in the light. There you go. Plastic all binds up around the edge, which makes it very difficult. What I do then is I go in with a very sharp knife and cut out those pieces, and then I will go around the edge and tidy it up so it's much like this. Now this obviously isn't finished here, but it's just basically the rough shape. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So how the process works is basically we cut out the rough shape with a Dremel and a cutting disc. You've got to have a steady hand for that, and then we use a kitchen knife or a sharp bladed knife with a sturdy handle to do the rest of the work, to take away the bulk that's left behind. So we get up to the line like here, and then we go over that with a little piece of sandpaper, rough grit, and then a fine grit sandpaper until it's nice and smooth and ready for painting. Okay, we've just started cutting the bed here. So we're using a Dremel with a cut-off disc. Now, obviously the plastic's bunching up around the edge, which is not ideal. Had that happen quite a lot every time we do plastic. It always bunches it around the edge of the wheel. But we're just going to take it slow, and we're just going to carry on ploughing on and cutting out this bed here. Right dudes, we've got our top bed piece removed. This is completely off now, the top bed. What I've done is I've left there was two supports that ran right the way across. What I've done is chopped them a little bit in, cut round them, and then levelled them off, so they will act like a holder. You see the channel that we've cut in there? Where my thumbnail is, the channel, the slot that runs all the way around will be dremeled out, so the actual carbon piece sits inside that slot. That's the theory anyway. So we're just going to go ahead and make that slot even deeper now, so we can slide the top in. Right, so here's the preliminary fitment of the carbon replacement for the top deck. It's taken quite a while actually to get that level, so it's level at the bottom. There's still a few adjustments to make on this, but all in all it's not gone too bad actually. You can see how it goes together. It's such a tight fit, I don't know whether I can, there we go. So there's a groove basically all the way round that's been cut in. Well, this obviously all needs tidying up. So that groove obviously is where the carbon fibre plate sits in, and that means that it stops this. It's been difficult because actually the whole thing's under tension now, so if you look, it's not quite square anymore because the original bed is obviously quite heavy, it's quite thick, and it's molded into this shape. It's all injection molded, so it was sort of keeping it out, sort of like that. And at the moment it's not. You can see there's tension in there at the moment, so getting the right shape to hold that properly so everything's aligned and plumb was actually a little bit of a challenge, but there we go. So we've got this done. Now to tidy everything up and then go back, tidy this up, take the protective film off and put some affixing on in the groove before we do a final push in and fitment, which will hopefully be permanent. Cheers for watching. Right dudes, so here's the finished article. I apologise if the camera won't focus very well, but I'm sure you can see it well enough. So it's had all the side panels cut out to match both sides. Still needs a little bit of tidying on some areas, but that's pretty much it. Right dude, so this is pretty much it, final product here. Now this is a 1mm carbon sheet that's replaced the original rear bed. It's nice and solid. As we can see from the underneath, we kept a few support trees, but not the actual supports themselves. It's much lighter than it was before. I'd estimate probably around a 50% weight reduction there with those mods, which is obviously the sides cut out, as before they were solid like this. I have left those two there, 1, 2 and 3, for reasons of just a bit of structural rigidity. Not that it's floppy or anything, there's no sort of bounce to or anything now, play on movement, but still, you never know, you know, in a good rollover you want some protection there, don't you? So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for Tom Munn for letting me work on his rear bed for him, for his MST j45c. As you can see, turned out rather nice. Thanks for watching.